Hello there everyone, and welcome to my first video on a team build and showcase. In these videos I'm going to go over team members, their builds, quickly go over some substitutions you can make, and show you how to play them well. For this video I'll be showing off the Raiden National or Rational team. This is a take on the popular national team being Xiangling, Xingqiu, Bennett, and either Sucrose or Chongyun, with Raiden replacing the last slot. You do this for a couple reasons. The team is strong and usually has a flex member anyways. Raiden is a strong character in her own right, and she helps the team's problems with energy, as well as increasing the team's burst damages. With Raiden's rerun and a request, this is the perfect time to make the team if you already haven't. First, I'm going to quickly go over the characters and their role in the team. First is the Raiden Shogun. She's an Electro Polearm user, and as the Electro Archon, she centers a lot around energy recharge. For weapons, the best in slot is by far her signature weapon, the Engulfing Lightning, but any of the 5 stars will work. I wouldn't really recommend the Calamity Queller, Staff of Scarlet Sands, or Vortex Vanquisher for this team though. For 4 stars, the Catch is an amazing option, competitive with some of the 5 stars even, as is the Wavebreaker Stem. Lithic Spear, Deathmatch, and Missive Wind Spear I would recommend right behind them. For a craftable option, the Prototype Star Glitter is a very good choice. For artifacts, you'll want to run her with the Emblem of Severed Fate set, prioritizing your crit stats followed by energy recharge and then attack. Her role in the team is the main on-field DPS character, as well as buffing the team through her passives. The first important one is tied to her elemental skill. The skill itself is a quick hit of Electro that creates this circle behind your characters. While the eye is active, your character's burst will deal increased damage, and when a character uses a burst or gains energy, the circle is slowly filled. The damage done by Raiden's burst is increased depending on how filled the circle is. What her burst itself does is a massive slash of electro damage, followed by a couple of seconds of being able to use enhanced versions of her normal and charged attacks. These hits also increase the team's energy. All of her electro damage and the amount of energy she provides the team is increased based on her energy recharge thanks to her second Ascension talent. I know that was a lot on just Raiden, but this video was meant to focus on her primarily, and she provides a ton to the team. To follow up Raiden, next I'll go over Xiangling. As a Pyro Polearm user, her role on this team is fairly simple. Main thing starting out is to make sure you have enough recharge on her to use her burst off cooldown. This amount can change depending on if the team has Favonius weapons or the amount Raiden provides, but I'd say to aim for around 180 to 200 in general. All of her weapon options are the exact same as Raiden's, basically even in the same order. If you want, you could also try to run her with the Dragon's Bane or Katane Cross Spear, but I put these on a very low level compared to the other options I mentioned. For artifacts, her best option is to run her on the Emblem of Severed Fate set, especially if you're running her with a recharge weapon. If you can't get a good set of this, you could also run her with 2 pieces of any of these, Noblesse, Crimson Witch, or Emblem. On the pieces, as I've mentioned, you'll want to first make sure you have enough energy recharge for her burst off cooldown, but then prioritize crit stats and attack. Her primary role on this team is simply adding a ton of damage with her burst, hence the emphasis I put on making sure she has it off recharge. Guoba from her skill also drops a pepper on the ground when he finishes his job, which will increase the attack of whoever picks it up. Xiangling is a staple of basically every national team, and it seems every update she gets better and better, and it is all thanks to the pure damage she does with her Pyronado. Following Xiangling is a fellow Leeway character and strong, powerful character from the beginning of the game, although after writing that is literally basically the entire point of the national team. Xingqiu. Xingqiu is a Hydra sword user, who just like Xiangling depends on his burst for most of his role in the team. His best weapon depends even more on recharge than Xiangling, and because of this I'm only going to be recommending recharge weapons. His usual best friend is the Sacrificial Sword. However, if Raiden is providing enough energy, you can choose a different recharge sword with more damage, options being the Skyward Blade, Festering Desire, and the Sapwood Blade. For artifacts, the best set is again the Emblem of Severed Fate, followed by 2 pieces of similar choices to Xiangling with one key difference, Heart of Death instead of Crimson Witch. On the pieces, after making sure you have energy recharge, prioritize your crit stats and attack. His role on the team serves main 2 purposes. One, he provides damage reduction and resistance to interruption with his skill and burst, and his burst, which provides a lot of damage as well as hydro application, causing strong vapes with Xiangling's Pyronado. The last member is one of the top 3 best characters in the game, at least in my opinion. That being the leader of his very own adventure team, Bennett. Frankly speaking, Bennett is overpowered in my opinion. He's easy to build, he's easy to play, and he provides a ton to any team. First, for weapon, you'll want to maximize his base attack. The best options are the Aquila of Avonia and the Mist Splitter Reforged, followed by the Alley Flash, then by all of the other 5 stars except the Key of Kashnasit and the Primordial Jade Cutter. There are a lot of weapons tied after that with the base attack of 510 at 90, the best of those being the Festering Desire, the Cephos' Lightning, and finally the craftable Iron Sting. For artifacts, the only set I would recommend really is the Noblesse Oblige 4-piece set, followed by maybe 2-piece Emblem and 2-piece Tenacity, but that is far behind. For the pieces, prioritize Energy Recharge for his burst off cooldown, but that is really easier to do compared to others, since his Ascension stat is Energy Recharge and his cost is the lowest on the team. His role on the team is to use his skill to battery Strongling and for his burst to provide massive attack bonuses for Strongling to snapshot with her burst and for Raiden Shogun to utilize on field. His field also provides a ton of healing for up to 70% of the HP of whoever is in the field. Individually, these are all very solid and strong units, and together on a team they can be incredible, but it's not exactly as simple as just putting them on a team and pressing buttons. Team rotations aren't always that simple. For this team, you're going to basically want to start every rotation with Raiden's skill. This is the skill with the longest uptime, it will buff everything else the team does. After that is Xingqiu's turn. He's next for a couple reasons. First, his burst lasts a really long time. 2, his damage negation is useful for everyone. And lastly, he doesn't snapshot, so we don't have to worry about using him before Bennett. So his part in the rotation is to first use his skill, then burst immediately as the orbs are still moving towards him. If he has a sacrificial sword, use the skill again. If not, switch straight to Bennett. On Bennett, you'll do basically the exact same thing, skill then burst. Sometimes it's beneficial to use skill a second time before switching, since it's on such a low cooldown. This is to battery Strongling's energy better, so that when she comes on the field next, you can immediately use her skill and burst in Bennett's field. In this way, she'll snapshot his attack bonuses onto her Pyronado for its entire duration. After that, you'll switch back to Raiden, use her skill again, and then burst. After that, use her normal attacks however you want in her burst time. I recommend 3 normals followed by a charge attack, but honestly any way you do it is going to be alright, as long as you keep attacking to proc Xingqiu's burst. After that, just repeat and you'll be doing great damage. The team has a lot of different substitutions and variations you can make, so I'll quickly go over a couple of them and their benefits. One is to replace Bennett with a Viridescent Vener Elemental Mastery Sucrose. This is pretty risky as you lose out on a lot of healing, some energy for Strongling, and some attack stats, but in exchange, you'll get more elemental damage from whatever element you swirl, and a large increase to reaction damage. Most importantly of these being the vapes from Strongling's Pyronado. Sucrose will also do a fantastic job at grouping the enemies. In a very similar way, Kazuha can also do this, but will have much better grouping power, and whichever element he swirls will get a much larger damage bonus, but he won't provide any bonuses to reaction damage. You can also choose to replace Xingqiu with Yalan, as she is basically just 5-star Xingqiu. She provides a lot more personal damage in exchange for some defense, interruption to resist, and Hydro application. You can also choose to use Kokomi instead of Xingqiu. She'll provide about as much Hydro application as Xingqiu would, and a lot more healing, but she'll have lower overall damage output. She can also take the field for some time, as she deals decent on-field damage in case some of your team can't get their bursts up in a normal rotation. Changing out too many characters really no longer makes it a Raiden national team anymore, but there are definitely options to take your teams to the next level. If you found this guide helpful in any way, please leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, please leave a comment. I love talking about this game, so I'm likely to reply. I look forward to any feedback, and with that, bye everyone, have a great day.
Everybody stand back! Eat this! Nice and spicy! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish! Shine down! Ring cutter! Teamwork is dreamwork! After Friday, here's the fire! Hey.
line's your fate. Let me read you a verse. No, my... Everybody stand! Let's light it!
Ha! Ha! Inazuma shines eternal! Ha! 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 There is no escape! Ha! Shine down!
Witness the power of Guhua! Teamwork is dreamwork!
You're toast! Baba, get them! Torn to oblivion!
Finally.
Target practice.
Ring cutter! I'm going in!
Eat this! Nice and spicy! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
Let me read you a verse. Huh? Let's light it up! Everybody stand!
You're toast! There is no escape!
No, my sword!
Baba, get them! Illusion shattered!
Ring cutter! Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Eat this! Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
Let me weave you a verse. No, my soul! Everybody stand back!
Nice and spicy!
Let's light it!
Illusion shattered!